So we've got a massive shakeup here with the NFL Week 9 power rankings. I know you guys see Miami falling all the way down to number 10. You're probably wondering why they did, because they beat the New England Patriots handily. But with this point of the NFL season now, we are halfway through it. I believe that there needed to be some adjustments here on the power rankings, because if Miami played every team that was above them, I would not expect Miami to win, because Miami has folded against good competition all year, and especially since last season. They still have that trait within them. Still going to have Philadelphia as the number one team here, no question. They win close to the Commanders at home, and we see with 2 of the last 3 weeks they're escaping the Commanders. So you would want to really, think that they'll play better against that team, because there was still a Chase Young, there was still a Montez Sweat, but that is a division rival. They clearly understand how to stifle Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense. We know that they have to win in a shootout, talking about the Eagles. So the Eagles will stay at 1, no doubt. Now, Baltimore does win close to the Cardinals on the road. I'm going to move Baltimore all the way up to number 2, because I do believe they're better than Miami. I do believe they're better than Kansas City and San Francisco, who both just got blown out to lose their respective football games. So Baltimore is the number 2 team in the league. I'm going to move Jacksonville up to number 3 as well. They win close to the Steelers at home. But when you have, again, Miami, Baltimore, Jacksonville, Detroit, Buffalo, Dallas, Cincinnati, Seattle, Minnesota, LA, everyone, that are still in these power rankings at some point in the top 15, when all those teams lose or win and Jacksonville's above them, they're just going to naturally slide up. Again, I moved Miami down for a reason, because I believe everyone above them would beat them. San Francisco and Kansas City obviously fall there to the 8 and the 9, like you see. I believe it's 8 and 9. Yes, to the 8 and the 9, like you see, because they have bad blowout losses. Detroit at number 4, they win to the Raiders at home, beat them, handily, 26-14. Solid game overall from Detroit. They beat a team that they are supposed to. Buffalo wins close to the Bucks at home on Thursday Night Football. I thought about putting that one on the slate, but because I was like, all right, watch, the Bills are going to go in, they're going to blow out the Bucks. Everyone's going to be back all over the Bills, and they're going to be like, look, the Bills are back. And I'm like, no, I'm not buying into it at all. The Buffalo Bills are who they are. Dallas Cowboys at number 6. They blow out the Rams at home. Not too much to say there. So Dallas is going to keep their spot. Cincinnati now gets to move up in the rankings some more. Of course, they could be higher, but I think at this point, if they did play some of the teams that are ahead of them on this slate, I think they would lose to them. Now, they have a very good chance at, beating a Buffalo or a Dallas, but I think Baltimore, Jacksonville, Detroit, and Philadelphia would definitely be able to hang with them if they played at this point in the season. So I'm going to keep Cincinnati there. Of course, I put them above Kansas City. Of course, I put them above San Francisco, as Cincinnati does blow out San Francisco on the road. I am going to drop Kansas City there to that number 8 spot, as they get I say a blowout by the Broncos on the road, because you don't put up a touchdown, you lose by 14, it's 25-9, like you don't even get to double digits. But again, if Sky Moore catches that pass, we're talking about a 21-16 game. And of course, who knows what would have happened after that? This is all what if. But knowing that the Chiefs could have been in that football game, nonetheless, they do lose. So they're going to drop there to number 8. Like I said, I got San Francisco at number 9 as they get blown out by the Bengals. And I'm going to put Miami at number 10, as I do believe they played the Niners, the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Bills, the Lions, the Jags, the Ravens, or the Eagles, that they would lose that football game. I'm not taking anything away from Miami. I have a lot of respect for them. I like them as a team. I want them to be in the AFC title game. I'd love to see a Tua and a Tyreek go and compete for a Super Bowl, but I don't believe at this point in the season, with how they're playing, it's going to be very reputable or formidable for them. Number 11, the Seattle Seahawks. Of course, they win close to the Browns at home, handling business. They do what they need to do, so they're going to be able to stay put in these power rankings. The Minnesota Vikings win big to the Packers on the road. Beat them by 14. Of course, Kirk Cousins does go out with the Achilles, still has a great game. Now we see Joshua Dobbs is going to step in for him, so they could be falling off these power rankings soon, unfortunately. The Chargers win big to the Bears at home, do what they need to do, so that's pretty straightforward. Now, Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay are going to sneak in here, or excuse me, yes, Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay are going to sneak in here as we round out these power rankings. Of course, we did see Pittsburgh at the 14, and or hell, who did I have? Yeah, Atlanta fell out. So we saw Atlanta in there last week at the 15. They lost to the Titans on the road. Their quarterback gets benched. They get diced up by Will Levis. So that definitely is going to make you drop outside. So Pittsburgh in at 15. Of course, they lose close to the Jags at home, but I think that's a more respectable loss than what Atlanta just witnessed. And then Tampa Bay as well. they're going to pop in at the 14. So from the 15 to the 1 for NFL Week 9 power rankings, I got Steelers at 15, Bucks at 14, Chargers at 13, Vikings at 12, Seahawks at 11, Dolphins at 10, Niners at 9, Chiefs at 8, Bengals at 7, Cowboys at 6, Buffalo at 5, Detroit at 4, Jacksonville at 3, Baltimore at 2, and the Philadelphia Eagles as the number 1 football team going into week 9 of the NFL season. And this NFL season is flying by, y'all. I mean, the playoffs are going to be here before we know it. The Super Bowl is going to be here before we know it, which absolutely blows my mind. We were sitting here talking about 100 days until the NFL season, 90 days until the NFL season. We're pumped to see the Chiefs and the Lions playing in the opener. And now we are halfway through the year. The playoffs will literally be here in January, and we will be talking about these Super Bowl matchups and winner in February.